Stop button.
Okay, Shaykh.
Stops the recording.
Ready, Shaykh?
What did that?
Live.
What Mustafa do with that mic, Shaykh?
Oh, the mic?
The cordless one. He changed the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah.
Hold on. Consider.
Okay.
You want me to hit this?
Yes, sir.
Blue button? Okay.
Yes, sir, please. Jazakallah khair, Shaykh.
Go live. But
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Siri. 1 minute. Turn voiceover off. Okay. You should be able to hit it now, Shaykh.
Okay.
Here you go.
Didn't do nothing yet.
Didn't do nothing. Hey, Siri. Turn voiceover off. Hey, Siri. Open Facebook.
Okay.
close.
And then turn the voiceover off, though it's still on.
It is?
Yeah, because she's talking. Try it again.
Go live.
Hit it twice. Just say.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2
Shukran, Shaykh. Barakallah feekum.
He said, let me call you back.
Live.
He's trying to stop.
0 0 1 live.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آله محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى أما بعد. This is actually going to be the first session going back to the beginning of the famous book Ad-Da'u wa-Dawa'i. Ad-Da'u wa-Dawa'u. Ad-Da'u wa-Dawa'u. Ad-Da'u is sicknesses, defects, calamities, ailments. And Dawa is the treatment, the remedy, the cure, the prescription. So this famous book, Shaykh al-Islam, Imam al-Alama, some people, they called him the heart doctor because, as you can see, he's very strategic when it comes to treatments, whether it be the physical part of the heart, the spiritual part of the heart. As they say in English, he's the man. Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah, rahimahullah ta'ala. So this book, we're going to try to summarize, because it's a lot. And I'm going to be using the explanation of Shaykh al-Imam al-Muhaddith, Shaykh Abdul Razak ibn Abdul Muhsin al-Albad al-Badr from the Prophet's Masjid. It has 83 videos. It's on the YouTube if you know Arabic and you can understand, subhanAllah. Sheikh taught the book, has somebody reading, and the Sheikh is explaining, subhanAllah, in a way that definitely we can relate, because the Sheikh is using examples from our era, from our time, from what culturally everybody could understand. While what Imam Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah said was enough, in order to make sure that the point is not missed, Shaykh Abdul Razak gave extra details and examples to further explain what the Shaykh was trying to say, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah. So inshallah ta'ala, I ask Allah yanfa'ana bi
ما علمتنا وعلمتنا ما ينفعنا. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us benefit from what He's teaching us and bless us that He teaches us what we can benefit and comprehend from. Because sometimes you learn something but there's no benefit. And then other times you comprehend something but you still don't know it. And it might sound like, wait a minute, but yeah. Because part of knowing it is understanding how to apply it. Now, so we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala second fusana to purify our souls. وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا, because you're the best one and the one who purifies the souls. أَنْتَ وَلِيُّهَا وَمَوْلَاهَا, you are the one, the guardian of the soul, and you are the one who takes care of the soul. All of this is dua that the Prophet used to say. And Shaykh Abdul Razak, he opens up with these dua before he teaches this book. Hafidhullah ta'ala. MashaAllah. So this is important for us because we're talking about our souls, you see. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, zidna iman, increase us with iman. Zidna sidq wa ikhlas, increase us in truthfulness and purity of worship. Inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala. Ameen. And this, inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala, I'm going to start from the 15th sitting, and then I'm going to go back. Because the 15th sitting, the Shaykh, he talked about the effect of sins on the heart. The 15th sitting, that is like what Shaykh Abdul Razak brought in that sitting. He talked about that issue, and then he went forward. Then I'm going to go back to the first, maybe 2 or maybe 3 sections, because the Shaykh Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya, he did section, fasl section, then it's fasl thani, section number 2, like this. So the reason I want to just mention about the effect of the sins on the heart, because this is the issue. If we understood that, we may take it a little bit more serious, but we don't understand the connection between the sicknesses and the cures and the heart and the effect of the heart, with regards to what you do. So, Imam Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya brings the hadith Abu Hurairah. And this has many wordings. This is the short version, where he said that the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Hurairah, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Inna qalb al-mu'min, indeed the heart of the mu'min. Here, mu'min just means Muslim. Because we have levels in Islam. You have the Muslim, you have the mu'min, and the muhsin. Muslim, that's when you first become into the door of Islam. Then you work, you learn, you practice, and then you may reach the second level, mu'min. Now you taste the sweetness of Iman. The sweetness of Iman is what drives you to do righteous deeds and stay away from the bad deeds. Then ihsan is the top, where you execute all good deeds, all bad deeds you stay away from, and then you do extra as if it's an obligation upon you. That's ihsan in a nutshell. Ain't that beautiful? SubhanAllah. We'll go back again. The Prophet, this hadith, Abu Hurairah, that Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya is bringing, Shaykh Abdul Razak brought it in his 15th sitting explaining this book. Abu Hurairah, he said that the Prophet said, Inna qalb al-mu'minin, indeed the heart of the believer. إِذَا أَثْنَبَ ذَنْبًا, when that person does a sin, نُقِطَ السَّوْدَى, a black spot, a black smudge, a black rust spot becomes on the heart of that believer. If we stop there, I'm explaining what mu'min means in this hadith. Because we know from the hadith of Jibril, the Prophet dealt with three things. Jibril asked him about Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. And one wording he asked him about the Muslim, the Mu'min, and the Muhsin. So when we talk about Muslim, that's a general term. It includes everybody who accepts Islam, no matter what level. When you use it in a general sense. But when you use it in a particular sense, then Muslim only means you accepted Islam. You believe sincerely. You came into the door. But it doesn't mean that you have reached a level in your Islam that now you are doing the deeds that represent a true believer. Because the deeds that represent true belief, meaning without defect. Not that the Muslim who has sins is not a true believer. He eats pork. You say, how could he be a Muslim? He's eating pork. He's not a real Muslim. No, not that. Because people say that, huh? What we mean is he's not mu'min kamil. His iman is not complete. He has sicknesses and deficiencies. A mu'min, as far as the one who reaches the level where his iman is complete, he's going to have some issues because he's human, but he's not going to have issues of major sin that he's doing purposely. His sins is going to be, her sins is going to be very minimal. And major sins they flee from. That's the mu'min. And they have more good deeds than bad deeds because they're driven by that sweetness that they have tasted and have arrived at in their level and time of being a Muslim that makes them do more good deeds than bad deeds. That's the mu'min. So in this hadith, the Prophet said, Inna qalb al-mu'min, he's talking about the Muslim. The Muslim. But he used the word mu'min. So if you say Muslim by itself, it carries the meaning of Muslim, mu'min, and the muhsin. It covers all the levels. If you say mu'min by itself, it covers the Muslim in totality, all levels, the Muslim, the mu'min, the muhsin. But there's a difference between the two. Like Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hujurat, قالت الأعراب آمنا. Some of the Arabs said, we believe. قُلْ لَمْ تُؤْمِنُوا. Allah said, O Muhammad, tell them they have not believed. Stop right there. They said, we believe. Allah said down, O Muhammad, tell them they have not believed. Meaning, Allah said, tell them, قُلْ لَمْ تُؤْمِنُوا. You have not believed. وَلَكِنْ Kulu aslamna, but say we have accepted Islam, we have entered the door of Islam. Because they were saying, we believe, meaning we're on the level of a mu'min. Then the Prophet, Allah told him why they can't say that and why they're Muslim and not mu'min. He said, وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانَ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. Because Iman has not entered your heart. Now, how do you become a Muslim and Iman is not in your heart? If you don't have Iman in your heart, you can't be a Muslim. That's a munafiq. So what's meant by that? Meaning the sweetness of Iman where you go to the second level of Islam. Where you'll do anything almost that Allah Azza wa Jal tells you to do with no problem. You will sacrifice whatever that Allah tells you without a second thought. That's the mu'min. And the major sins, you flee in the other way. You need to give a second thought about sticking your finger in the pool of major sins. That's the mu'min. So here the Prophet is talking general. Because as a Muslim, the first level, you just accept it. Or a mu'min, you have some time, experience, and you reach the second level. And the muhsin, the one who executes. You still human.